Okay, so this is the first Raw after Over the Limit, and Over the Limit was an okay pay-per-view. And this Raw seemed to have predominantly really good promos, and very, very little in the way of actual wrestling. The initial promo from R-Truth was really solid. But every time he says Jimmy, my first thought is, hey. You know, mad didn't you? Because I was going to get my little Jimmy. Hey. Hey, Bret Hart, can I see a pair of your glasses? I'm going to go outside and find me little Jimmy. Hat. Here you go, little Jimmy. Hat. What do you think about your glasses? Him demanding a match against Cena. When he talked against Cena, though, about everyone's going to buy your hat, your shirt, your armbands, and then he screams out, "I want my son back." And with the bunny, he goes, is that a line from like Mel Gibson's Ransom? Or why did he scream, "I want my son back"? And I was like, I don't know, but that could probably go to a really interesting sounding, piece later on. And that, of course, led to him and CM Punk teaming to take on Rey Mysterio and John Cena in the main event. Alright, okay. New Nexus members Otunga and McGillicuddy took on Kane and Show and became the new tag champs. So Otunga is now a two-time tag champ. And then right after that, Show gets hit by Del Rio's car. Personally, I would rather have seen Show Kane or Kane Show survive this match and then have Show get hit by Del Rio to have Kane have to defend the tag titles against New Nexus, and then have him drop his belts that way. So that way, then when Show comes back, they go on a tear for the division all over again. The match between Bourne and Swagger was pretty decent. I enjoy it. I think it's going to help them build a pretty good feud, and Swagger needs something to help remove being Cole's lackey from everyone's mind. The promo that Cole did was decent. I would have rather seen Cole been off TV for like a week or two and then come back on. Where maybe the apologies seem a lot more better. Like, you could have had more of those, I went back and I thought about it sort of moments, and then it happened, which would have been a lot more beneficial than just showing up and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry." The match between Kofi Kingston and Drew McIntyre was really solid. McIntyre, when he first came in, he was slated to be the next big guy. He couldn't capitalize, so pushing him onto Raw and putting him in essentially the mid-card title feud works really well. Now, the 8 Diva tag match. I've been seeing a lot of these tag matches where I don't think anybody really tags in. And I was like, I want to see somebody tag in this match. If it's an 8 Diva match, everyone needs to have been tagged in at least once. Not they're all in the ring where they come down and do the initial square off. And then what happens? Karma comes down. Awesome. Karma's going to lay out everybody. And then she gets to the ring, sits down, and starts crying. For like 3 minutes. The crowd chants, "Karma is going to kill you." Not Karma is going to take you on the emotional voyage of enlightenment. With the great build-up she has had, just going into the ring, dominating somebody, giving them a cold, icy stare that's almost paralyzing, to going in the ring, sitting down and crying. She better not do this. "When I was a child, I was picked on." No. No, don't do this to her. You have her come down the ring, she destroys people. You put her in a good feud with somebody like Gail Kim, who she's got, some history with, or Melina, who could help make her look really good. You also have her do matches with Eve and Kelly because she'd make them look fantastic. And then you slowly build that into her facing Beth Phoenix next year at Mania. I really have no idea what they're going to do with Karma now. I don't. I really, really just don't. I'm not intrigued, I'm just aggravated. I thought that the tribute they did to Macho Man was done beautiful. To have just Jerry the King Lawler talk about it was good. You know, Cole hasn't earned enough good grace to talk about it, and Matthews, he's been on the business, but not long enough to actually be like, you know what, I knew Savage. That video promo, the video package was done fantastic for him. Period. You know, seeing the scenes of him and Liz, you know, it really brings me back to when I was a child, you know, watching wrestling, because that was one of the huge storylines when I first started watching the E in the '80s, was that storyline, and it was beautiful, showing bits and pieces of the match that he had with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which in most people's mind is still one of the greatest wrestling matches of all time. It was done beautifully well. The main event match, where it was Cena and Ray with Bret Hart as guest referee versus Truth and CM Punk. Punk coming down in the Macho Man inspired gear. Beautiful. I'm kind of confused as to the ending. I remember Nexus had beaten up Bret Hart in the past, but I thought this was before CM Punk took over. So to have CM Punk put in the sharpshooter and have Rey Mysterio drop the dime on him didn't seem to make any sense at all. Now, first, let's off one other thing. One other really great promo. Miz finally cutting Alex Riley off. Good. Good. The post-match beatdown, it kind of makes sense. You know, Alex Riley really needs to do something. And I think if you do it just right, you kind of have them lightly feud for the next pay-per-view, Capital Punishment, which I'm not looking forward to because the really badly intercut thing with people talking and Barack Obama doing a press conference, not a huge fan. Them inviting senators, yeah, our tax dollars at work. But back to the thing with Miz, you know, it made Alex Riley seem almost kind of credible. But I think what happens is you need to have this feud kind of go on, and then at the pay-per-view Capital Punishment, that's when Alex Riley needs to go over to SmackDown and become a pretty solid, you know, lower mid face. I say you start lower mid, and then you work him from lower mid to a solid mid card, and then eventually you probably work him into I'd probably say lower main, upper mid. In the course of a year, you could really push Alex Riley. He's got a great look. He's decent on the mic. He seems to have some charisma. But I think if you put him on SmackDown, give him a little more seasoning, get him in the ring with, you know, some really good, solid workers, give him the opportunity. See what he can do in the course of a year without having to be in the Miz's shadow. So all in all, you know, fantastic promo work between Truth, Cole, Miz. Match work kind of lacking. I still have absolutely no idea what they're going to be doing with Karma.